Twins of Reddit, what is your most awkward/awesome wrong twin story? Identical twin here attending the same college as my twin brother. I was walking with my girlfriend at the time during my freshman year, and another girl approached me and said, "Oh, so this is why you didn't want to call me back." I didn't know this girl, but it also didn't register at the time that she was referring to my twin, who I assume ghosted her. I told this girl she must be mistaken, and she says, "No, I know it's you, we met in the dorms." And then it clicked for me. So I explained that she was confusing me for my twin brother, but the most awkward part is that she didn't believe a word I was saying and thought I was just using the twin story to try to get rid of her. I had her call me at the time and show her that my phone wasn't ringing and that she was calling my twin. My girlfriend was upset at first, but then basically realized the humor in the situation as it was unfolding. As a whole, I have a twin. Call his phone sneaky. Joke's on her. That number's been blocked already, so it won't even ring. Outstanding move. Had a buddy from the scatter park who had a twin. This guy and I would always shit talk each other. One day I see him and walk up to him. "What's up, dip crap? The freak you dressed like that for? It's not gonna make your busted ass skate any better." "Excuse me? You go deaf too, Dumbus?" He gets in my face and starts asking what my problem is. I'm laughing the entire time thinking we are playing a game until he shoves me hard. I fall backwards and look at him and yell, "Sean, the freak man." His face completely changed. "I'm Shane, dude. Sean's twin." I didn't know he had a twin. Next time I see Sean, he cracks up. "Heard my brother almost beat your ass." I honestly hate when parents decide to name their twins nearly the same name. Why would you go out of your way to make things even more confusing? Edit. My example for this would be twin girls I went to high school with. Their names were Sherelle and Chanel. They were perpetually getting confused for one another. There was a set of triplets in a class in my middle school with the same first, middle, and last names. God, was that confusing. Gonna be a credit nightmare their entire lives. My twin had recently joined the Navy and was at boot camp. I, on the other hand, was walking around the grocery store when a man came running up to me in a panic. He began to shout, "What in the hell are you doing here? You're going to go to federal prison." A bit shocked, I assumed it was just some crazy person and started to back away, but he followed. So I said, "Sir, I don't know what you're talking about." He then proceeded to say my twin's name, and then I started laughing. He, still very panicked and now angry, asked why I thought this was funny. I explained I'm such and such his twin. He didn't believe me until I finally pulled my ID out to prove I was who I said I was. He then apologized and explained he was her enlisting officer and was very concerned when he saw me. "Why were you off base without leave, private scum?" "Sir, the mess hall doesn't serve Fruit Loops, so I went to buy some, sir." Edit. Fruit, not fruit. My grandparents were getting us ready for kindergarten. They put the wrong name tags on us, but we did not notice. I was just sitting in class and all of a sudden the teacher goes, "My brother's name, you're in the wrong class." We had different teachers. She brings me to my brother's classroom and takes him to hers. I was so scared I didn't say anything, and I felt like I did something wrong. After a few minutes I was so freaked out about being in an unfamiliar place and seeing all the strange faces I started crying. My brother's kindergarten teacher figured out what was wrong and sent us back to our real classrooms. Me and my twin are fraternal and look nothing alike. This was like the third week of class. "Teacher, these damn kids again. Always F***ing around even as babies." This was my dad's story, but he and my uncle look exactly alike, to the point where their wives of 2+ DECADES have confused them. When they were in college, my dad was the lead in a show and my uncle came to see it opening night. My uncle saw his chance and, while my dad was in the bathroom, burst through the curtains and said that's it. I've heard it. I can't work with these people anymore and stormed off. The director was basically shitting himself. BC nobody knew that my dad had a twin until my dad came back and once he saw everyone's faces basically said yeah, my twin is coming tonight. He messed with y'all, right? I dated a girl whose twin was a life drawing model on campus. Guys were always approaching her when they mistook her and assumed that since they had seen her nude, she was easy. That's awkward. Awkward as knowing they know what she looks like naked because of her twin. I'm a teacher, and when I was student teaching there were twin girls. They were super cute and very hard to tell apart. I finally got to the point where I could tell which was which. One morning I confidently called them by their names, but they corrected me. I made note of what they were wearing and kept them straight the rest of the morning. While we were going over our lessons and I called on twin A, she began to cry and said I'm not twin A, I'm twin B. They decided that they were going to switch on us that morning, but then got upset when we called them the wrong name. We laughed so hard about it after the fact and their mom was appalled that they were already switching places in kindergarten. When I was teaching, we had a pair of twins who were the most identical I'd ever seen. One had a tiny freckle under her eye and the other didn't, and that was the only way anyone could tell them apart. So their mom got them hair bows with their names monogrammed on, and then frequently put the wrong bow on the girls' heads. Sometimes I wonder if a few sets of identical twins, they don't all seem to have those little identifying marks, and a lot of people aren't very tuned into details, get switched by their parents a bunch of times by mistake before they learn their names, and they end up learning the wrong name from what they actually were and basically just switch places. I know a lot of parents have little identifying marks, like bracelets or nail polish, but there are definitely some who don't. It's the middle of the night here. I'm evidently incoherent. I transferred to my twin brother's university. By that point, he had already become friendly with a lot of people on campus, students and faculty alike, and was a face of the university. Meanwhile, I was a new student and didn't even know my way around. It's not really one event, but the culmination of it being a repeated thing when someone would wave at me or run up to talk to me and I'd have to explain that I'm not my brother and that no, I'm not freaking with you. Yes, I know we look exactly the same. And yes, I'm pretty certain I'm not my brother. It got bad enough that I had a knee-jerk reaction to just yell out I'm not my brother's name whenever I noticed anyone trying to get my attention. Sometimes a conversation would go on for minutes of that person just non-stop talking before I finally got a voice in to tell them that I don't know who they are. My brother ended up telling me that he heard I bumped into these people and that they said I was really awkward, as if there's a non-awkward way out of that situation. Dude, you missed a golden opportunity to freak with your brother. You should have played along and then slip in subtle weird clues about being a serial killer or something. Even better, just weird things like ketchup on toast. I'm the brother of older, identical twins, and during the eldest's wedding, J, his twin, P, and myself were his groomsmen. As part of this, we were greeting guests as they arrived, shaking their hands, and saying welcome, etc. It didn't take long for guests to start congratulating P on his wedding, causing him to laugh and correct them. At first, a lot of J's wife's family were from overseas, so they certainly hadn't met P before and may not have even known that J had a twin. So once they started arriving, it became a constant stream of people congratulating P on his wedding. Eventually he stopped correcting them and just slightly awkwardly saying thanks. Congrats on your wedding. Thanks, the bride doesn't know she's marrying me yet. We're a package deal.